What we're going to be looking at today is this mag I bought. This has to be, no lie, like the drum mag, or the C-Mag, not the drum mag, the C-Mag that I had 10 years old. Because I went to a game in Ohio at Roseville Prison in 2010. It's 2020. I used this mag and I also used my C-Mag. That's all I used all day. Okay? So this particular mag, let me explain the gotchas on it first, and then we'll go from there. Okay. First thing was, this came with, it has a real little tiny spot for a battery and a 3.6 single cell that only lasted like one mag, if that. If you're shooting a lot of full auto and it was winding, the thing just wore out in like one mag full. That was it. So I actually got another 3.6 battery, a bigger one, put it in series, and taped it on the outside. Well, that lasted quite a while, but I haven't used this in like years, so the batteries are dead and they don't want to charge up. When I charge them up, they don't hold charge, it doesn't last that long, and it just winds down to nothing flat. Second gotcha on this was this broke, it fell, which is why I got this mag grip cover on here. What this does, I'll take it off there, is this separates a little bit, and this keeps coming open, which is one of the fill spots. Okay, so I actually put this on here so that it stays shut. Let me put this back on here. It's you know, a bit of a waste of a grip, but what the heck. So I put this on here, and it does keep this shut so that it doesn't come open. Now, I think I did say once before, I did drop this and I broke the fill here. Because this is the primary fill, it just would flip forward and it works. But this broke, so I had to use this from then on. Okay, the whole idea behind this is you pull this down a little bit, you pop this one over a little bit, you put your funnel there, okay, like so. You pour some BBs in there, bang slam, Bob's your uncle. Close this up, pull this cover over the top again, so you can even leave the bullet exposed if you want it to look nice, but you got BBs in there. Now, the gotcha on this is where most of the BBs are. There's a solid cross member right here where the switch is, and what it is a pass-through for the BBs. So this has BBs from roughly here up. But half of this is the feed tube, so it only has a little bit of BBs that it can go in here. Most of the BBs would go in here. So when you're shooting this, from time to time you have to... So the BBs go from here, because the BBs all stop like right here. So this is all full of BBs and this is half full of BBs right here. You know, it's all the way up, but it's only halfway because of the mechanism, like I'm saying. So you have to go over there like that. So if you're shooting during a game and you run out and you're whining and you don't seem to get any BBs, go like that, back and forth to get the BBs to wind in there. Then they'll go across this. They're supposed to, because this is at an angle slightly, they're supposed to feed out of this and fall in there. But sometimes they don't. You just do a quick, take your gun to the side, back and forth, bang slam, all the BBs will go in there. Now to get the BBs out is the same thing. You would actually open this up, dump it in the thing, and you could actually hit the button here and release all the BBs that are in there. So what else I've done with this? Up here you'll see a hole, okay, right there. That was the auto wind. That quit. That never worked, okay? I always had the little switch, which was right here, okay, which you can't see because I got it covered with tape. Used to be right here, and I'd be flipping it down, flipping it down, flipping it down, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to wind this, because the auto part never seemed to work right. Okay, it worked when I first got it, but I think after dropping this, it did something to it, and that was the end of that. All right, so the little board that was in there, the PCB got messed up or something like that, so there was nothing else I could do with that. So I gutted all the internals, and I just wired this from the switch direct to the motor, bang slam, out to this connector here, and then hooked it up to this battery right here on the outside. Because like I said, there is no battery space. There's like that much battery space in there. And yeah, it'll fit a little 3.6, but that's about it. Now, I had this monstrous 7.4, which is like okay, but this was originally running on a 3.6 volt battery. So this battery is like way overkill for that. Second, another gotcha on this is only the on-off switch. Surface mount, but an on-off switch. So when you press it, it's on. You can hear it whining, and it's really going. It winds up in seconds. So if you accidentally lay this in your gear and bump it, it could be on in your gear bag and you don't even know it. So what I want to get is a momentary contact surface mount for this, and I have a couple in my Amazon cart that I'm going to look at. And I'm also going to look at a smaller battery, maybe a 4.8, with a lower profile. And my whole thought was, instead of having the connector come out here, there's a big gap right here. If you can see, this pushes in. It's all the way through between the mags, and then there's this, as you can see right here, there's this solid piece right here. So if I could get a battery that would fit in that spot, a small like 4.8, that is bigger than the 3.6 that was here, smaller than the 7.4, and it would still give enough power for this to run. Now on this 7.4, it'll probably run for weeks, but you really don't want to use that because you're putting too much voltage into the motor. Other thing that I want to do is maybe see if I can find a pressure switch and wire it in here somehow. I'm not quite sure how I can do that, because I could go, there is a hole like right here where these cables come out where the switch was. I could put the pressure switch through there and just solder it fast to like one of the hot wire, the ground wire, whatever, so that it on and off, on and off, on and off, you can use with the pressure switch. Still have a momentary contact here, but also have a pressure switch which you can run up on your actual gear if you want to, because it's easier to have your hand up here on the rifle instead of keep coming down here. Unless you're one of the guys like me that hold by the mags. I've done that too. So holding by the mags, I can actually put my finger here and put that on and off, no problem. As you can hear, it's clicking pretty bad, so it's fully wound, so I don't really need to wind it anymore. So what we're going to do, like I said, I still got some work on this. It does work. We're going to go out and do a shooting test so you guys can scope it out, how it shoots. If I get the switch in a smaller battery and I put it back together with the momentary contact, you know, good deal. If I can find a pressure switch, also good deal. I used to have a couple laying around here from the old laser lights. They were like little switches. They were nice, but they were short tails on them, so it wouldn't go far, so it really would be stupid. And I don't know if I want to spend $12, that's what they cost, for a new pressure switch. Because I can get a brand new pressure switch for $12. Do I want to? Probably not. So I might just go with the momentary switch and call it good. For this type of mag, it'd be great. I'd love to be able to get this battery off here and put it in between here to use up the empty space, but we'll see. So let's go outside for the shooting test. Okay, we're out here doing the shooting test on this beautiful sunny day with my MP5 Polar Star with this dual mag. Now, like I said before, the switch is an on-off. It's not a momentary contact, which is what I want to get, and there is no way to put a tail switch on this for a pressure switch. I'm thinking about how to do it, and if I work it out, that'd be great. But we're going to do some shooting. I'm going to turn the camera that way so we can see what's going on. My normal 125-foot target. And before I get another comment, yes, I'm using 2.0s because I got a ton of 2.0s, and they're traveling up to the sky. This is set for like 3.0s. 2.8s or 3.0s. I can't remember which I had the hop-up set for. So that's why they're going to the sky. This is just for shooting. I don't care if they're going to the sky because I got a lot of 2.0s. So we're going to turn the camera now. Okay, you can all see that we're at my 125-foot target. Gonna load up the mag. Okay, it's in. I'm going to wind it a little bit. Okay, sounds like it's full. And we're going to start off with a couple semi-fire shots. Going to switch up to full. Okay, now it's saying it's out of BBs. Quick wind. Out of BBs again. All right, so it does work that if you're shooting semi, it'll last quite a while. The thing that bothers me, and I'm going to move the camera back to the other position. Like I was saying, the thing that bothers me is the on-off switch. All right, I have to see about if I can get a momentary contact, and I want to get a surface mount like I have here because it's really easy to, when you got your hand here shooting, you put your finger on the trigger, bang, you're shooting, come up, wind and back off. If it's a momentary contact on and off, it would work a heck of a lot better. So I have found some momentary contact switches, got them in my Amazon cart. The big thing is money, as always. So as soon as I get some money ahead, I'm going to get a momentary contact switch. I have been looking for another pressure switch. I thought I had one, but I don't. And the two that I did have, I sold with devices that I had to Caleb Tucker Airsoft. So I might look about getting one for this, because this would be nice to have a pressure switch that you could put up on top here and just hold it and shoot, hold it and shoot, hold it and shoot, hold it and shoot, things like that. This is a very light gun, and even with this double mag on it, it's pretty good. What's also interesting about it, I've got this huge battery on it. I might look into a smaller battery. This does whine really fast, which is good, but it's a LiPo battery, so that's why. If I get a smaller battery, maybe this will work a little bit better. Also, this has, on the bottom right here, like I said, a winding wheel. So I technically, it's all the way wound up right now, so I can't wind it anymore. But if it's not wound and the battery's dead, you still could automatically you could wind it up if you really had to. So that's a look at this mag today. Beautiful sunny day. I'm going to be working out cutting some grass today. So as always, you guys have a good day.
One grenade launcher. Right. Cattle had the crashed 9mm helical mag. Right. SA-80. That's too fucking small.
Oh, that's not right.